So it's time to go ahead and get this thing welded on. It's all prepped. I put sheet metal screws in areas where it really wasn't meeting up very well with the frame rail. I haven't in areas where it's already nice and tight. It's pretty much ready to go in. I've decided to not weld the quarter panel to it for now because I really need to be able to mock this whole area up, including the tail panel and the extension bracket that'll go in here. And I'm waiting for a couple more parts before I can do that. I ordered some new taillight housings and also some additional trunk corners just to help me with the process of modifying the fastback extension panels that I have. So I'm going to leave this be for now and just weld the trunk floor to the trunk support and the frame rail, the transition pan, and over here in the wheel tub. I did have to drill some new holes because I figured out that the reason it wasn't lining up with these original holes is because the flange that's on this replacement trunk floor that meets with the wheelhouse is about a 1/4 inch shorter than the original trunk floor that went in here. So I had to drill some series of holes up higher to be able to have something to weld to. So let's get this welded in. Okay, installation of the passenger trunk floor is complete. I've ground down the welds and painted them over with some Rust-Oleum just for rust prevention. Again, this car is going to be media blasted, so I mean this paint is not permanent. It's just to prevent flash rust in the meantime. Like I mentioned before, I didn't weld the quarter panel to it just yet because I need to be able to mock. I want to be able to mock all this up before I make that permanent, because I want to make sure that bottom flange is where I need it to be. So I'll be taking care of that once the extra trunk corners and the taillight housings come in, because I want to be able to clamp the tail panel. It's in that box. I want to be able to clamp the tail panel to the trunk support and mock up the extension pieces and the new trunk corners and everything, and make sure that everything is fitting together. And with that in mind, I've reinstalled the trunk hinges. Once the extra parts come in, I'll go ahead and worry about installing the trunk itself. I'm also going to do some research on installing the trunk torsion rods, because one thing I've always noticed on forums is that there's always questions about how do you install the torsion rods. So I got a pretty good idea of how they go on after looking at a couple videos and that tool from the Cougar website, but I'll double check, do some research, and I'll try to see if I can make a video on how to install those torsion rods in there. So hopefully that'll help clear that up. But yeah, I welded it to the pan, to the outer wheelhouse, and everything else, just not the quarter. So, and this is all welded up in here as well. So a couple little pinholes here where I tried to fill holes, but it didn't fill entirely, so I'll address that at a later date. But for now, I'm happy with it. Once the other parts come in, I'll go ahead and mock everything up and get this thing 100% welded in. But until then, this coming week, I'm probably going to go ahead and start on the driver's side trunk floor. We'll get that taken care of, get that removed, get the new one put in, and I'll try to I'll document that as well. But other than that, it's coming together pretty well. It's looking pretty good. Alright, I'll keep you all updated.